the individuals in our communities who are making a difference. And one of those incredible individuals is here with us today, and it's Berla. And Berla is doing some wonderful things in Ghana to empower young women in your home country. Talk to us about what exactly you're doing for the young women of Ghana.
Thank you so much, and greetings to everyone. In my country, I speak Ghan, so I say Minganyefe, and that means greetings to you all. But thank you again. And, well, my name is Berla Mundi. I'm a broadcast journalist. I work with Media General in Ghana. It's the #1 broadcast station in the country. And I've done this for 12 years. Now, along the line, I realized that a lot of young women were inspired by what I do. And they'd always come to me and say, Berla, I want to become like you. I want to be a broadcast journalist. And I'd ask them a very simple question. Why do you want to become a broadcast journalist? And most of them just didn't have an answer. Most of them will say that, well, I mean, you look nice on TV, you always have nice hair, nice makeup, you wear some of the coolest clothes, and so I think I could try that. And I'd look at them and tell them, well, that's just 2% of the actual work. There's a lot more that goes into becoming a journalist in the first place. You have to do a lot of research, you have to go to school, you have to sacrifice so much. Are you ready to do that? And they're like, well, if you can just put me in front of the camera, I think that would be fine. So over time, I realized that there was some disconnection. Yes, I was on there, I was inspiring, but how was I inspiring these young women? Was it for them to become a second-rated version of me? Or did I have to find a way to help them to discover their true potential and their talent so they can become the first-rated version of themselves? So I started the Be You by Berla Mundi Foundation. I say thanks to God for that. I woke up one morning and it just dropped in my spirit, and I wrote it down and I started. And what I decided to do was take along with me some professionals who have done really well in various fields of endeavor to, visit the campuses, have conversations, deep conversations with these young girls and boys as well, to let them understand that if you really want to become successful in life, you first of all have to identify what your purpose is on earth and walk in that purpose. So you don't have to be a Berla Mundi at all costs just because you think it's nice and glamorous to be on TV, but you can become the best version of yourself if you have to be a doctor, if you have to be a designer, or whatever it is that you have to be. And I've run this project for 5 years. I've discovered quite a number of young women. In fact, the team I work with all came from my project. I met them on the campuses. I have producers on board. I have just incredible young women who are working with me. And we've discovered quite a number of people. We've had some support from various industries as well. And I must say that so far, so good. I've got so many people who have come to me and say that because of this project, I think I've discovered what I really want to become, and I'm pursuing that relentlessly. And that's what gives me fulfillment.
Wow. I love when people say, oh, your job is so glamorous. I'm like, I don't own any of these clothes. And I was at a courthouse all day yesterday from 5 a.m. to 7 and doing my best to try to be there for my kids. We're all just trying to do the best job we can. It's like the iceberg metaphor. Change can also just start with the smallest of things. I do want to give you guys each a moment because we are running out of time. I could talk to them all day. But a rapid fire sentence to this question is that what's the greatest power that consumers have and should lean into to drive change in the world? Berla, we were talking about that earlier.
Yes, we were, and I was just telling you, and this is just a few minutes, but I'll try and summarize it. So for me as a brand ambassador as well, because that's also one of the jobs that I do, I realized that a lot of the brands that come to me because I appeal to a certain audience and the needs of that particular audience. And so what I want to tell consumers is you have the power of choice. And that's for you to decide. So if a brand does not necessarily speak to your interests, your values, how you intend for them to support society, and in my case, support young people, then you have that choice to skip and move on to the next one. And that's the way these brands would learn to do things the right way. And so as a consumer, always remember that you have that power of choice. And that's what I also do, which is why the brands come to me, because I appeal to younger people. Young people require support. And Africa has the youngest population. In the next couple of years, we're all going to be looking to Africa for human resource because we have it all. So as a consumer and as an audience, you always have to remember that if this is the direction that young people intend to go, you also have to tailor your brand and your services to suit that if you still want your brand to stay afloat. Thank you.